Lies down for a bit. Afternoon, folks. Tuesday, 3:45. Look at those apples. That apple tree has more apples on it every blooming year. It's amazing. Right, we've just had our rain, and I've just got started because yesterday I was putting tents up ready for Tribfest, and I've just got back to the workshop and I've just got it all put together. I had to put it in the lathe and very carefully bore it out to an interference fit. Turning copper is a bit like turning chewing gum. It really is an odd metal to deal with. Quite difficult to get a decent finish on, but I've done it. It's gone in, and that's absolutely tight. Well, it's tight on there. It would go further down actually. I might knock it a bit further down, but it's done. It's done at long last. So I'm going to crack on with it again. So I'll see you all a bit later. Bye now. Right, I'll start again and I can edit it or not. Right, disaster averted. I need a smooth surface on here, and I just about got there apart from that bit, and the tool dug in and it started to turn. Now you can't turn it by hand, right, but with it being copper it obviously doesn't make a good interference fit. Anyway, I've soldered it, which I didn't really want to do, but I can't see it'll make any difference. I've soldered it, so there we go. And it's the end of the day, because I'm now taking Keith back to Driffield to pick up his fixed motor car. So I've forcibly cooled this down because it was rather hot. Believe it or not, this little blow lamp soldered that amazingly well. I mean, it took a few minutes to get up to temperature, but it did it. And I've soldered it with low melting point electrical solder rather than the plumbing solder, but when I tried it with the plumbing solder it melted as well, so there you go. Right, that's it for today, folks. Be back tomorrow for more fun and games. See you tomorrow. Bye now. Good morning, folks. It's Wednesday. Yes, and it's still morning. Amazing, isn't it? And the early cloud has disappeared, and it's now hot again, or at least very pleasantly warm, so it's not too bad. It's not scorching like it was last week. So some days it all goes wrong and some days it all goes right. I've had that on the lathe this morning, as you can tell, and it's cleaned up beautifully. So there we go. So that's that finished. And unfortunately that's as much as I can show you for now, because at the outside chance that it works, this is patentable, so I cannot show you any more work to this other than to tell you that it's to do with a Faraday, what's called a Faraday generator or a Faraday motor, QV. Right, so that's going to disappear now. Disappear, that's it. Right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my car, back the tractor out, get it running and just check the charging voltage. In fact, for what it matters, I could do it in here actually, because it doesn't smoke much. But I want to check it just in case it's overcharging, just to make sure that it's charging right. And then once again I'll say it, the tractor's finished. Okay, I'll crack on with that and I'll let you know how I get on. I might even bring you back midstream. See you in a bit. Bye now. Well, I did it, as you can see from the haze in here. It wants setting up a bit, I think. It wants setting up a bit. It's charging at about 10, 11, 12. Let's start it up again and have a look. Let's start it up again and do a live look. charging? Yes, we are. Right, well we were charging, but not enough basically. I was right, so we need to up the charging voltage just a little bit. So I'm going to have to take the bloody dashboard to bits again. Never mind, I shall just do it. I'll bring you back when I've got it done. Bye now. Right folks, well I've done a test using my beautiful Krypton electrical tester, which is designed for the job, and the great advantages with this is it splits the voltage much finer and you can see what's actually happening, and when you rev it up it goes to 14.4. I'll just give you a little demo. Turn the key on. Oh dear, I'll bring you back. Here we are folks. Oh, deafening. And as you can see from that, it is actually charging at the right voltage, so I'm going to leave it. And if it doesn't stay charged, I shall make adjustments. But it's fiddly getting that bottom off, and it's not nice. So I'm not going to bother, because I don't need to. Right, I'll leave it on charge, because starting it and not running it doesn't do it any good. So I'm just going to give it a refresher charge now. Hang on, where are we? With my super duper high powered little battery charger, which does the job every time. Right, on to the next bits and pieces. See you in a minute. Bye now. I've made a mess. Isn't that unusual? What I've decided to do is to have a big tidy up and get the Holbrook out of the back there and bring it out here and sit in the middle of the floor. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get that table and put that table there along with that table, and then put these lin bins up, I think on there, but I'm not sure yet. But I've also come to another conclusion, and that is that vacuum cleaner corner needs to go, and if it did, it would mean we could move this little milling machine along to there. We could get this grinder finished, because all it needs is a starter putting on it, and use it, right, because it's a very nice useful piece of kit. And we could move the shaper, probably move the shaper to there, right. So that's what I'm going to do. Also, I've got a starter to put on this saw. Right, that's another job I want to get done, because these jobs are now beginning to build up, and you just don't do them, you just carry on doing stuff, and you don't do the little jobs that you need to do to keep ahead of everything. So I think that's what we're going to look at. There's all sorts of metal stored down here in a piss poor way, which should be really over near the lathe. And if you look under the lathe, there is a 110 volt transformer, 2 empty boxes. You know, we should have a rack under there with bits of round bar on it, shouldn't we? We can't do it under there because there is no under there. But yes, we need to reorganise the workshop. So I might do that for the next couple of days. Just get things sorted out and tidied up and get the Holbrook out of that corner and ready to start on it. See you later. Good morning, people. Thursday, first job, get the stove ready because my daughter's going to Troop Fest. So we'd lent it out, of course, and it came back in pieces. Regulator missing, knob missing, so now it's sorted, all fixed. I'm just cleaning up the metalwork as much as I can, not brilliantly, but as much as I can. Right, so that's that job. So the results, the final results last night were a semblance of tidiness. Floor's nice and dry and nice and clean now. All the machine tools are resplendent in their new positions, which will still be temporary. But let me just put a light on. Let me just put a light on. There we are. Right, so I showed you last night I've got all that stuff under there. Today I'm going to do this side and that area, and then we can move stuff this way. Then I'm going to finish in here, put those lin bins up, or whatever they are, and then finish in here. Then I'm going to reorganise that and get the Holbrook out from behind there, get the bed of the Holbrook out from behind there, and get it set up, probably in the middle. I'll take the mixer down, but we are getting somewhere, or at least I'm insisting that we're getting somewhere. That's better right up to there. I can now walk round the tractor without having to put it outside every day, which is a good thing. Right, so we can get through there to rejoin the two halves of the workshop. Right, I'm going to crack on with this stove, and in fact I'm almost finished with it, and that can go back in the car, and that's ready for use tonight. Okay, bye now. And there we are, folks. It now has 3 knobs, it's all cleaned up, and it's all working. Right, job done. Put back to rights once again. And also, incidentally, it's Thursday, 2/17. I finished cleaning and tidying this area, and boy was it mucky. But there you go. Now I have to move back on to all the mess I've made in here. So the first thing to do, I think, is to put some stuff outside. I got carried away. Don't I always get carried away? I must concentrate on the job in hand. And I power wash my mats because they were filthy. No point in moving dirt into the place. I've got that pressure washer has a problem. The pressure switch, when you release the trigger, that pressure switch cuts off but doesn't cut back in again. This one also has a problem. When you release the trigger, it doesn't cut off at all and blows the hose out. I have just a feeling that I should throw both of them away because they're piles of crap. You can't get parts from them. They're all the parts are slightly different. Like the hose from that one won't fit the hose from this one. It's only very slightly different, but it won't fit. That Karcher hose fits this McAllister pressure wash. That's, I think, the original McAllister one. But when it was ordered, it came, and the end won't fit that pressure wash. The pipe end won't fit the pressure wash. It needs a long nut because that's sunk into there, so you need a long nut on it so you can get it tight. Also, these are different diameters. There's a metal slug that goes into there with an O-ring in it, and of course they're all slightly different diameters. So you put the wrong one in, they leak. Bloody Chinese junk. But we all know about that, don't we? Right, I'm going to start in here. Now I've got a working stove for my dear little daughter. I'm going to start in here and tidy up. I'll bring you back when I've done it. Bye now. Sometimes you need more storage space, and sometimes you just need less stuff. That's a piece of crap. I'm not having anything to do with it anymore. Bye bye. Right folks, Thursday, 4:32. So effectively the day's over. But here we've finished in this part. I used my my daughter's lipstick display. Makes a really wonderful cutting tool holder, so you can see all the tops and see what you've got. And we've generally, I mean, there's still all this to sort, all that to sort, but we've got all the muck out the place. And in here, I think you'll agree already, it looks a lot better, but of course there's all that stuff outside to come back in, although that isn't a great deal. But we've got a lot of muck out, and we are beginning to sort out. I have actually lost my rag with quite a lot of stuff, and we've ended up with a trailer load, so there you go. But we're clearing out. We're clearing out. I've got to get that pressure wash fixed, because when I get that one fixed I should chuck that other plastic one away because it's a bag of crap. That works. It works, that pressure washer, but you see that elbow? That elbow just there. That one, it leaks. Not from its threaded connections, but it's got a pin over it. And I've found some replacements, but I've got to take it all to bits again to put it on because it's a bit awkward. And also, I need to look at the pump, because the pump is stuck. It's not putting out the pressure it should be. It works. It pressure washes, but it's not brilliant. So that's another job. But we've made a clearance. We've made a clearance. These are empty sacks. So we're getting there. There is the bed of the lathe, oiled down and cleaned off. That, I'm not sure what's in there. I think that's possibly a box of Andy's Wrangham, but I'm not sure. So, I don't know what to do with that bloody strimmer. The 2 pins, I'd chuck that in the bloody in the trailer as well. There you go. Right, so that's it for today. I'm going to pick this bit of muck up and then I'm going to start fetching all the stuff back in, and I'll see you all tomorrow. So, bye bye now. In the morning at 8 o'clock, my dear daughter and boyfriend want to be at Tribfest for 8 o'clock. So I shall get an early start tomorrow, and with any luck tomorrow we'll have the Holbrook bed out, and we'll have all this lot reorganised and put back much more neatly than it is at the moment. Okay, bye now. Good morning people. Friday, 11:24, just got here. Daughter delivered to the Tribfest and all the stuff dropped off. And worryingly, I did exactly the same thing this year as I did last year, which was to bang my head on the tailgate and drive back to the field with blood trickling down my forehead. Never mind, eh? But it's a worrying trend, isn't it? Right. Today, this area. Get the lathe out, but first, all this stuff outside. Bye now. Hello again, folks. This would be an ideal place to put a time lapse in, but this camera won't do time lapse, and unfortunately I've just been told this morning or last night that the GoPro is on its way back unrepaired, because it's got water damage. Well, I don't believe it has got water damage. It's never got wet. You know, I've had it for years and it lives inside all the time. It doesn't go near any liquids of any sort, so I don't think it's water damage. But there is a tiny hole above one of the side button, because the button was getting a bit dodgy. It's made a tiny hole over it. I think they've just looked at that and assumed it's water damage, so I shall have a word with them when I get it back, because if they've bricked it I shall be very annoyed. But my guess is they haven't even stripped it, they've just looked at the hole and said, oh, it's water damage, and send it back. So they skimmed 20 quid off everybody plus the delivery. So you pay for delivery going in, right, and all they do is put it straight in another package and send it back, and they've made 20 quid. Scam. Right, I'm annoyed. Right, I'm just going to carry on and move it. You'll have to imagine me running around in a very jerky fashion at high speed. Bye now. We're almost there, folks. I see a Holbrook hiding back there. Right. Gasp, gasp. Heavy saw. Couldn't remember how I lifted it before, but that's how I did it. These lift trucks are incredibly useful. And they take up a lot of space, that's the only problem with them. I could. No, I couldn't. I was going to say I could get rid of them both and just use an engine crane. But the fact is I couldn't, because what I can do with this one, and especially that one out there, is put something on it to work on it, like the welder for instance, and just lift it up to working height. Because it'll easily lift a big welder. It's 3/4 of a ton that'll lift. I think this one's half a ton, so there you go. Right, onward, in we go. We're almost there. Bye now. We're in. We are in. So I brought the slightly dodgy, what would you call it? The counter shaft rig out, and we're in. So if I move this out now and then start moving this other stuff, after I've swept out of course, if I start moving this other stuff back in, we shall create more room. The fridge and the chest of drawers are going downstairs for now, but of course the next thing that I need to do, although I'm going to get on with some more inside work before I do it, the next thing I need to do is to clear the back of this out, clear this loop out, and get rid of all this stuff. I've already started tidying up here. This wood wants sewing up and bagging up, and then that's ready for winter. And that's a pile of scrap to go for scrap. And every day in every way we're getting better and better. Right, bring you back in a bit. I'll bring you back, folks, to show you a very interesting tool. A bit of metal with a hook on the end, just that long. Very useful, because when you've got something heavy like that to move, you just hook it on, and a hard job becomes an easy job. First saw one of these when my brother was the local milkman, and that's another story, and he used to move massive piles of milk crates with a hook with a handle on the end. Just hook it in the bottom crate and just pull, and there you go. But very useful, so you don't have to bend down, you don't hurt your back trying to lift things off the deck, you just slide them along. Bye now. And there we go, folks. The workshop is going back together in a much cleaner and nicer fashion. Right, so all we've got really to put back in is the saw bench and that box of junk and that thing. And then of course got all that out there, but the idea is with a lot of that lot that it goes somewhere else, which is why I need to clean out the store outside. In fact, I need to start posting stuff up on Facebook and getting rid of it, because I've got more stuff than I know what to do with. Should never have bought that. It's a hydraulic pump. This was bought in the days when I was going to build a hydraulic press, but you know, who knows. See you later. Bye now. Well, that's it, folks. It's Friday. It's gone 5 o'clock and I'm still not left. What a wicked person I am. But I've got everything back in, and although it looks a mess, does it look a mess? I don't know. It's subjective, isn't it? Or is it objective? I can never make my mind up. They were in the engineering shop. They're now out here, which is where they want to be. Ultimately, they want to be in there. Right? And I've had a good tidy up. I've got all the crap out. I'm going to chuck some sheets over this lot, I think, just to keep the dust off it. There's still a whacking great lump on my head from the whoopee car tailgate. Ouch. But we've made some inroads. The fridge and the cupboard are disappearing into the nether regions on Monday, and I think all in all it looks a lot better in here. Certainly I can get into the machine shop unrestricted now, and it all looks a lot tidier. So that's it for this week. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for clicking like. Please click like and please send me comments, because I want to hear your comments so I can answer and we can get a rapport going. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you next week. And don't forget to subscribe. It costs nought, but it makes the channel a lot better. You can see what I've been doing here, can't you? You can see what I've been doing here. It's very difficult to tell actually, because it's not worn evenly from that edge to that edge. So we have uneven wear. It appears to be, from what I can tell with a straight edge, which the longest straight edge I've got, I'm going to ramble on again now, aren't I? The longest straight edge I've got is my 12-inch level, which is a good straight edge. Right? If I put that over there, from where it reaches over the worn area, you can get a 1.5 thou feeler gauge in some areas, but you can't get a 2 thou in anywhere. So I think what I'm going to do is, first of all, I've got an anomaly at this end, because it actually goes the other way at this end. So what I'm going to do first is set the bed up, pack it, and get it till I can zero there and I can zero at this end, because what we've got here on both ends is original flaking. Right, original flaking here, original flaking here. Right, in fact most of this way here, this flat way, is original flaking. But what I've got to do then, that would appear to indicate that the bed is slightly twisted, so I need to pack until the bed is running flat, and then I can get a real good idea of how much wear there is here. There isn't a great deal. There isn't a great deal. The next thing to do is to get the saddle on, but I would like to perhaps, I'm going to put some Belzona in there, I think, just to lift it and then scrape it back to suit. And I may have to put some under the saddle as well, but it's certainly, to say this lathe is from the 1930s, it certainly isn't badly worn. So folks, next week, this is just poor treatment. This is, you know, and look at this, these are hacksaw marks. They're hacksaw marks. What can you do about that? You can't do anything about it. I can clean them out and put a bit of Belzona in them, which will make them less noticeable, make them look less offensive, but See, it's had a bad ding there, and I'm not quite sure we've got that down yet. That may still be a bit high. I think I'll stone that off a bit more, or I might even scrape it, to be honest, because it does feel high there. But it's not bad. To say it's from like 1932 or 3, I think, the number dates it at, it's not in bad condition. So the first thing to do is get the bed sorted, clean it up, put some Belzona in, but of course while I'm waiting for things I can be cleaning all the bits up and rebuilding them. So from next Monday onwards it's going to be almost full time on the Holbrook. So off we go. See you later, chaps. Bye now.